Sensitivities is gastrointestinal distress, including symptoms like bloating, gas, stomach pain, diarrhea, and constipation. Not only will these lead to discomfort, but it will also impact nutrient absorption. Joining me now with how to tune into your tummy is chiropractic physician and acupuncturist Dr. Cathleen Gerenger. Hey, Dr. Kathleen, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you, Gail.
So you and I have talked about this as patient and doctor about food sensitivities. They really can wreak havoc on your body in so many ways.
Absolutely. And a lot of times patients come in and they get confused between food allergy and food sensitivity. So I just kind of want to outline in simple terms what's a food allergy. Food allergy is something that we actually have when we're younger, about 6 to 8 years old. That's when you find the food allergy, and it affects the antibodies. It's called IgE. So it's like an alarm system. You eat that food or you come into contact with that food, and then there's the symptom that flares up immediately.
And then on the flip side, food sensitivities are very different. They're not as blaring. You may not even know you're dealing with them because the way your body reacts to them is very different than hives or anaphylactic or something like that.
Yes, so food sensitivity, you detect it by the IgG antibodies. They're almost like your record keeper. You know, so it's like, oh, you ate that food, you're okay, but how come 2 days later it flares up? So it's a delay response.
Okay, so now there are a lot of tests out there. You see people advertising for either blood tests, at-home kits. What are your thoughts on that as a doctor?
Yeah, so there's a hair sample too, where there's so much information on our hair, so you can take a couple of strands of hair and you can actually see where the food sensitivity are. But my thoughts on that is pretty good. What I do is that I like to kind of like look at the big picture, kind of compare with their normal blood work too, and just to compare and see apples with apples instead of oranges and apples.
So I just recently started like a whole new regimen. I've been talking about it throughout the day here on Bloom, where I really wasn't comfortable because I didn't know how to feel about the food sensitivity tests that are out there. So I just started eliminating foods from my diet. And you say there are top 3 culprits.
Yes, and you can do it at home without ordering any kind of test. Just do food elimination for about 4 to 6 weeks. First thing is get away from gluten, dairy, and corn. Those are the top 3. And what I'm finding out now when I look at these results is that suddenly avocados become a very high sensitivity.
Really?
Yes, our good friend avocado.
I know, our healthy fat that we love so much for a little guac dip. Once you eliminate these foods and then you reintroduce them 4 to 6 weeks later, you should do that maybe one at a time to see how your body feels.
Yes, absolutely. And going back to avocados, so why is something so good for us, a healthy fat, becomes very sensitive? It's like, then what can I eat? Patients come back, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sensitive to everything. I was like, no, just pick up like the top 10 and then just kind of eliminate it, or the top 5. But the reason why is because they eat avocado in their shake, they put it in their salad, they eat it for dinner, so they overload their receptor sites.
Interesting. So
Yes.
it could be too much of a good thing.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. And then I also know that if you're not eating the right foods, that it also disrupts your gut health, which then prevents the absorption of the nutrients you do need.
Yes, and that's really important because if we kept eating the same kind of food over and over again, we saturate those receptor sites so the nutrients aren't being absorbed through our intestinal tract. So food rotation is huge.
Dr. Kathleen, as always, it's such a pleasure having you on Bloom.
Thank you.